Part 4. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gumu Shuang. Chapter 31. 10 days have passed, and great progress has been made in road construction in Huayang village. The village chief has never seen roads built so quickly. He directly opened a road in the mountains and connected Huayang village to the outside world. Now they have begun to repair nearby roads, but in just 10 days, Huayang village has begun to change drastically. The construction team was also renovating Huayang village. All the dirt floors were renovated into asphalt roads, and a road was cut out in the middle. The village chief was at a loss about all this. He didn't even know why the village construction workers were involved in road construction. Because the plan was too big and the road conditions were complicated, he didn't know that the construction team had originally promised to complete it within 10 days, but now it would be extended. Of course, Yingwan didn't care either. The new road was about to be opened. Su Xiao and the producer of the program team saw the lively scene around them on the way here, and were a little surprised. Is Huayang village building a road? The producer looked a little confused. It seems so. It's good after the road is built, isn't it? It's more convenient after the road is built. We took several trains when we came here. After sitting for several hours, my buttocks almost hurt. Lin's sister May's place is too remote. Su Xiao was also a little hard to say. After all, everyone was surprised that Lin May's sister lived in a place like this. This program is called Family Time, which is simple and crude. Of course, there is no restriction on whether a family must participate. Lin May is an exception. Su Xiao just looked at the bustling scene outside, especially since this project seemed quite huge. He couldn't help but be a little surprised. In just a few days, Huayang village began to change, and the changes were pretty good. When they drove directly to the hillside of Haokan where they were staying, they missed each other with the car. Su Xiao and the producer turned their heads and saw a man sitting in the car. At that time, Su Xiao and the producer took a deep breath. Nothing more than that, mainly the man's face, just a glimpse of it, is stunning and unforgettable. His arm rested on the edge of the car window, his face looking outside, and a thin cigarette held between his slender fingertips. Even so, he could not block the other person's noble aura. Especially those eyes, under the deep brow bones, contain a different kind of emotion. When I missed them, I glanced at them with a playful coldness and without any emotion, as if I was just looking at the wild flowers and weeds on the roadside, not caring at all, and the clear glance made people shiver. The car was quickly missed, but for just a short moment, Su Xiao and the producer turned around and continued to look at the rear of the car in perfect agreement. The producer couldn't help holding his face and screaming, "That guy just now was a little too handsome, wasn't he? Am I looking at you? How could he be so handsome?" Su Xiao also agreed very much. "You probably haven't seen Hua. In my opinion, this is also the most handsome man I have ever seen. He is so aura. His appearance and clothes don't look like a rural person. How come he appears, it's here. Going home to visit relatives." The producer could only think of this reason, and he was excited and regretful at the same time. "I was driving too fast. If I were on the side of the road, I would definitely stop and ask for his phone number. Aren't you an agent? If you sign him, you will explode." "Su Xiao, look at the car he is riding in, take a closer look. Even if you miss it at first glance, the traffic speed on the mountain village road is not that fast, and you can still see the sign clearly if you look carefully. It is a car that ordinary people cannot imagine." Producer. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gumu Shuang. Chapter 32. They were sure that the person they just met was definitely not an ordinary person. But he didn't know where to look for traces of the other party, and now Yingwan's matter was the most important thing. The producer was responsible for signing the contract with Yingwan. She mainly wanted to see Lin May's sister in person. In addition, She was the driver and the staff of the legal department. Arriving outside the fence door, Su Xiao saw that the door was open. When he looked around, he saw Yingwan sitting on the swing, holding a comic book in her hand, swaying in the breeze, looking very comfortable. Su Xiao called out, "Yingwan." Yingwan turned his head. Su Xiao was a little surprised. They had only been away for a few days, but she didn't expect that Yingwan's home had already undergone huge changes. The courtyard has been reclaimed and divided into several plots. The pond and the trellises of grapevines look after each other. There are several chickens running around in the land. There is a small arch bridge in the middle and a pavilion on the right. There were huge fences all around, and there were vines with beautiful flowers climbing inside the wall. Su Xiao couldn't identify what kind of flowers they belonged to. They were just colorful and surrounded by the wall, which looked particularly beautiful. Sitting on the swing and listening to the gurgling water, it's a very pleasant day. At first, the producer thought it was the dilapidated tile-roofed house in the countryside that he had imagined. But now he saw that it was very different from what he had imagined. The environment is good. I have my own personal pursuits, and this style is obviously especially suitable for the fantasy of those who want to live in seclusion in the mountains and forests. The style of this small bridge and flowing water house is so amazing. Especially the girl sitting in the middle, wearing a close-fitting white thin sweater and jeans. The mountain breeze was blowing, and there was a slight coolness, so she wore more clothes. She wore her hair in a bun, with a few strands of slightly curly hair hanging down, looking pure and lovely. Her bright facial features cannot be concealed from her delicate beauty. She is already beautiful enough without makeup. Su Xiao concealed his surprise, looked at Yingwan and said, "After your sister signed the contract, she still needs you to sign it again, so we are here to find you to sign the contract today. After your contract is confirmed, we will sign it online. The official information about the program will be released, and your sister will be here in about half a month." Yingwan responded lightly, "Yes. It does sound like that." At first, the producer was wondering what Lin Mei's sister looked like. Now that she saw it, she knew that the show would be exciting. Lin Mei's rural sister is quite surprising to people. Living in such a place, even if this Lin Mei's sister does not have any great advantages, her beautiful face alone has won the hearts of some viewers. Eye contact. Su Xiao pushed the producer, and the producer came to her senses and took out a stack of documents from her bag. "We originally agreed that your sister would be paid 10 million for recording this show, but you are in a special situation, so your sister said you would get half of the money. The contract was signed to ensure that the secrets cannot be leaked in advance. What do you think?" Yingwan looked at Su Xiao, and Su Xiao nodded towards Yingwan. This is indeed what Lin Mei promised. Not only this 5 million, they previously said that as long as Yingwan agreed, there would be an additional reward of 1 million, which would be given to her. Su Xiao felt a little hurt, but who made Lin Mei agree to it? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 33. Yingwan didn't say anything, but walked over and took the contract. There was a stack of dozens of pages of contracts, and she read them quickly. Su Xiao and the producer both felt that she was just looking at it casually, and she probably couldn't understand it. And she looked at it so quickly, so she obviously didn't look at it seriously. Yingwan, okay. They are all boring and trivial clauses in common contracts. She took the pen, sat down in the pavilion, signed her name and stamped her fingerprints. Seeing Yingwan's signature, Su Xiao breathed a sigh of relief. When the producer and the driver went to go through the contract formalities, she took out a beautifully wrapped paper bag from the car and handed it to Yingwan. Your sister went to New York to buy it for you. Yingwan frowned slightly. Su Xiao's heart skipped a beat. To be honest, she didn't quite understand the meaning of Ying Wan's frown. Most people should be happy when they receive a gift from their sister, right? She really couldn't tell that she was happy at all. It's that cool feeling. Su Xiao couldn't help but sigh for Lin Mei. Could this be a white-eyed wolf? But it's hard to say. There are white-eyed wolves, and the Lin family's genes also include Lin Mei's lack of heart. After thinking for more than 10 seconds, Ying Wan stared at the paper bag before taking it. She opened it, and Su Xiao explained beside her, "I don't know what you like. I see that you don't have anything on your hands, so I bought you a bracelet. Don't dislike it?" Inside the paper bag was a beautiful box. When he opened it, there was a bunch of bracelets. The four-leaf clover bracelet is simple but beautiful. Ying Wan lowered her eyes. Su Xiao looked at her and wondered if she liked her. When he handed Lin Mei over to her, he said all the anxious words, "Your sister said that she just recognized you now. You are taking her with you. This one is more low-key. I'll buy you a better one after recording the show." Ying Wan glanced over slightly from the corner of her eye, then put it back again. She took out the bracelet and put it on her wrist. "You can go back and tell her that I usually don't like these things and I don't lack them. She gave me the first one. I accepted it as a gift. I don't have to worry about buying these in the future. I promised her to record the show, so there won't be any other surprises." Su Xiao automatically ignored the word not lacking and only said, "She doesn't know what to do with you. After all, you are her biological sister. She just has a mush in her head." From an outsider's perspective, Su Xiao said that Lin Mei cared deeply for her two younger brothers and sisters. But whenever Lin Mei had a dispute with someone at home, those two white-eyed wolves were on her side. "Here, my sister usually shouts diligently when asking for money. Every time she calls, she must ask for various things, and there is no exception." This Ying Wan seemed to have a cold temper, but she didn't care about her sister's things, but she was too indifferent. "I don't know how they will get along with each other during the future recording of the show." Su Xiao was a little worried. Ying Wan stood up and said, "In this world, even if we are relatives, there is no need to be together. After recording this program, we will have nothing to do with each other." Su Xiao was a little surprised. "You really don't want to go back? Don't you have any ideas? Even if you don't go home, you can still contact Lin Mei. If you need help, wouldn't it be nice to have someone to help you?" Ying Wan said calmly, "Let's talk about it. I'm going to start working on something. Do you have anything else?" The other party issued an eviction order, and Su Xiao naturally didn't treat him well. He sighed and left. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 34. Ying Wan's cooking was delicious. Su Xiao thought she could have a free meal. If the other party didn't ask, she would be too embarrassed to stay. When they got outside, the producer had already finished the contract and left a copy for Ying Wan. He looked at the time and said, "We have to rush back as soon as possible. There are still many things to do later. We will officially announce the broadcast time of the program next week, and the live broadcast platform has been contacted. Su Xiao, remember to ask Lin Mei to prepare well." The producer winked at her. "Even if she is from the countryside, I think this sister is a little different. She looks so beautiful. If the program has unexpected effects, it will also be good for Lin Mei's popularity. You can also ask your sister if she is interested in entering the entertainment industry." Su Xiao shook her head. "Don't think about it, she is not interested." Whether Ying Wan is interested in the entertainment industry or not can be seen with the naked eye. The producer was just talking casually. Now that things are done, they naturally rushed back quickly. In the next few days, the program group officially announced the broadcast time of the program online. Family Time v. Family Time will officially start broadcasting at the beginning of next month. The program adopts a new broadcasting method and will be broadcast online in conjunction with the AMIA live broadcast platform. It will be broadcast live for 1 week every month, from 8 to 20 hours every day, inviting you to experience the lives of celebrities. Let us spend a week of happy time with the movie Emperor at Unqidu, the Queen of Change at Yeni, the National New Meet at Zhongshan, at Lin Mei. Weibo hot comments, ah, what a lineup of gods, teacher Unqidu is out. Weibo hot comments, oh my god, aren't Yeni and Lin Mei both daughters of famous families, then can't we follow the rich and see what the lives of rich people are like? Weibo hot comments, hashtag looking forward to the best Zhongshan, hashtag escorting our Zhongshan, looking forward to seeing Zhongshan's mother educating her son. 23,333. Weibo hot comments, I heard that everyone else is a family, but Lin Mei is with her sister. It is said that this sister is a rural sister who has just been found. Will the Lin family not participate? Is it so miserable? Weibo hot comments, others have prefixes, but Lin Mei doesn't think about it. Is the program group so disgusting? Yeni is the queen of change, she should be given a shame of forced promotion. Weibo hot comments, rumor has it that Lin Mei is not with her family, but with a sister she just found. This sister grew up in the countryside, and the Lin family seems to be unwilling to recognize her, sympathize with Lin Mei. As soon as the news was announced, Weibo exploded. First of all, this lineup is incomparably luxurious, and it is live broadcast online, which hits the G-spot of the majority of netizens now. Zhongshan is a popular young actor, and his Weibo traffic is already explosive, while Unqidu is an old movie emperor. His works have always been of high quality. He has a good image in the hearts of the majority of people and has a high prestige. Moreover, his 2 children are said to be amazingly good-looking, which has attracted many people's expectations and attention. And Yeni and Lin Mei are not on good terms, and their fans have also torn. Both of them are daughters of famous families, but Yeni's treatment is obviously much worse than Lin Mei's, which naturally makes Lin Mei's fans feel unconvinced. Now the program is open to the public, and Lin Mei is secretly stepped on, which is unbearable. The program has not even started yet, but the popularity has skyrocketed, and the quarrels are so fierce. Becoming the richest by farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 35. Among them, Lin Mei's rural sister also quietly became a hot search topic. Since there is no news now, only some gossip, no one knows whether this rural girl is true. It is surprising that the Lin family did not accompany Lin Mei to participate in the show. Yeni's well-known brother next door reposted it on Weibo immediately, saying that the family looked forward to everyone's attention. There are many insiders on the internet, and some people want to fish in troubled waters, so more gossip comes out. It is said that Lin Mei is not favored in the Lin family. It is not surprising that the producers of this program disagree. If a missing second sister had not suddenly appeared, Lin Mei would not have known how to record this program and would have faced compensation issues. Even a girl from a rural area has to bite the bullet and record it. The internet is open to all kinds of individuals. Some people find it confusing, and there are also some people who belittle Lin Mei, who was born in a rural area. Hot comments on Weibo, I have almost thought of that suffocating scene. Lin Mei's rural sister, who has faced the lowest since she was a child, is rustic and illiterate, facing the camera with her sister. Lin Mei, this is heartbreaking. Is this intentional? Let a rural girl compare with you. Hot comment on Weibo, there is a saying that many rural places are no worse than in cities now. Transportation and shopping are convenient. What's wrong with rural girls? Rural girls have to live in loess soil. Are you living in the last century? Don't you know that 9-year compulsory education is now available? Don't you know how many rural people go to college? Hot comment on Weibo, regional discrimination is rubbish. Let's not talk about rural areas, let's talk about Lin Mei recording a show with her sister. Why not with her family? This is a bit subtle. Hot comment on Weibo, The family next door are all urban social elites, many of them have studied abroad, they have seen all kinds of big names and high-end places. Lin Mei and her rural sister are said to be in the countryside. Wasn't she embarrassed when recording the show? When Lin Mei saw this information, even though she was prepared, she was so angry that she almost smashed her phone. Are they sick? Are they saying that I am vicious and deliberately making comparisons? She was forced into having no other choice, otherwise she wouldn't have wanted to be a part of tonight's show. Su Xiao consoled him, at least Yingwan is not what they imagined. Look at everyone else and see how we live in the countryside. Don't you enjoy helping Yingwan raise chickens every day? Lin Mei. Lin Mei wanted to cry again. She shouldn't be online, right? I'm used to being scolded, but she is just an ordinary person. If she sees these comments, she will feel very uncomfortable. Su smiled and said, I have asked someone to delete as much of her information as possible. This is definitely not a coincidence. Someone deliberately released her information to provoke a dispute. The program team wants to be popular, so they will not care about it. Lin Mei gritted her teeth and said, besides that bitch ya and I can't think of anyone else. Su Xiao was startled, shh. Ancestor, even if you don't like it, I have told you so many times not to curse. You are a daughter of a famous family just like her. Do you want to be compared to be worse? Now things are like this, then use limited resources to fight for a turnaround. Your hope for a turnaround now lies with Yingwan. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 36. Lin Mei was still a little embarrassed. It's just a program, what should we do? Su Xiao said, she said she graduated from college. Have you ever asked her what college she graduated from? Lin Mei said, I asked, she thought I was talking too much. Su Xiao. She covered her face, maybe the school is not very good so she doesn't want to say it, then this point can't be relied on. Your next task is to discover your sister's advantages. You have to know that even if your sister was born in the countryside, she is different. The fact that she is beautiful now is unexpected. I don't believe that she has nothing else except college. She is 24 years old. Hasn't she ever worked outside? Establish yourself. It doesn't matter if you want to establish a self-reliant personality. Lin Mei was a little confused. She is 24 years old. Her grandfather should have died a long time ago. After studying for so many years, she should have saved up the tuition by herself, right? Yes, Su Xiao clenched his fist and knocked on the palm of his other hand. This can be our point. You just need to dig into her hard life. She was born in the countryside. You can't blame her. You should blame your parents. But she was born in the countryside and was able to be self-reliant and earn her own tuition to go to college. This is a very good point. She is also beautiful, and it is easy to attract sympathy. Lin Mei was a little awkward. Why do I feel that she doesn't need others' sympathy? She really couldn't imagine that Yingwan needed sympathy. Su Xiao rubbed his eyebrows. I said it's just to find a point to establish a personal personality, otherwise how can you record this program? Others go to various high-end places to gain experience, and you play the emotional card with Yingwan. Lin Mei, I'll try. Su Xiao also said a point, otherwise this program really can't find a way to record. Every day, the two of them sit together and stare blankly. Yingwan looked at the series of messages on her phone, and laughed softly when she saw the rural girl. Lin Meijin was pitiful, and Lin Meijin was vicious and all kinds of distorted remarks. She would occasionally check the internet, but it was too rare. Most of the time, she would pay attention to the trends in other countries and use them to speculate on the development of some things. She didn't know any celebrities at all. She only realized now that comics could actually be read. Those incredible and imaginative stories helped her pass the time. Not everyone was serious in academia. Her professor often pulled her to talk about so-and-so's professor's wife cheating on her at academic discussions, and so-and-so was pregnant and wanted to take leave but the school didn't agree. Everyone's life also had a bit of life. However, these insults were all kinds of strange, and they really scolded in a variety of ways. It seems that Lin Mei's reputation is really not very good. Ye-ni. She looked at Ye-ni's information. She was just an insignificant woman. She scrolled a few times and left Weibo. At this time, a phone call came in. As soon as she answered the call, she heard the other party's sly voice, "Did I see fake news on the internet? That Lin Mei is not your sister, right?" Yingwan curled her lips. "How did you know?" "Tisk," the other party said, "it seems that it is not fake news. Wait, you are Lin Mei's sister, and the rural girl who will participate in the program is you." Yingwan said lightly, "Yes." Hiss. The other party took a breath of cold air, as if he heard the news of the end of the world. Big boss, a rural person, illiterate, facing the lowest and back to the sky. Awesome. Becoming the richest by farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 37. The person opposite is Bai Ya, the vice president of Yingwan's company. He was also Yingwan's student before, graduated very early, and then helped Yingwan with work. He is also a genius, but compared to Yingwan, he is not as well known, but he is also a leader that ordinary people look up to. Unlike Yingwan, he has an amazing talent in management, and he is outgoing and sociable. He is born to do business. It is difficult for Yingwan to find someone who is pleasing to the eye, and he is one of them. Who makes her lack management talents? Bai Ya was surprised enough when she saw the news on Weibo, mainly because she knew that boss had a legendary family that did not recognize him. To be honest, to be able to give birth to someone like boss, it is simply that the ancestors' graves have been smoking for 8 generations, right? As for why boss did not go back, that is no longer within Bai Ya's consideration. Now that he knows that boss is going to be on the live broadcast program, he has seen the comments on the internet. Hiss. Bai Ya took a breath of cold air, thinking that when the academic community sees Yingwan being said like this during the live broadcast, they will explode, right? And, she actually agreed to be on the show. She refused to do a documentary on her before. Bai Ya hung up the phone in disbelief, but Yingwan didn't care. What people on the internet said couldn't affect her at all. Her only thing now was to slowly tidy up her little home. Soon, the experimental equipment was moved to her one after another. Because some things couldn't be seen by outsiders, Yingwan piled them up in the house first, and the rest would be transported after the laboratory was built. In Huayang village, some people would also see the Weibo message. Lin Mei came to the village a few days ago and caused a stir, but the village was too small, and any news could not be transmitted in real time, so it didn't cause any impact. Now that Yingwan agreed to Lin Mei's show, the meaning is different. The village chief ran to her and asked her in surprise, "Wan, I heard from the eldest daughter of the Wang family that you are going to be on TV, right?" The eldest daughter of the Wang family is a fan of Lin Mei and one of the college students in the village. They will know sooner or later. Yingwan was not surprised and just nodded, "Yes. On TV." The village chief's tone was a little incredible, "Then take a look at your house to see if there is anything missing. No wonder the government approved us to build the road. It turns out that you are going to be on TV. The image of our village depends on you. Wan, if you need anything, you must tell me, and the village chief will definitely get it for you." They are usually busy with farm work and rarely pay attention to things on the internet. It is difficult to distinguish between variety shows and being on TV. I just thought Yingwan was going to be interviewed. Yingwan couldn't help laughing and said, Grandpa Village Chief, there is nothing wrong with being on TV. You don't need to be too nervous. My family doesn't lack anything. The village chief rubbed his hands. I am just worried. Then tell me what you need. He gave Yingwan a thumbs up and left with a silly smile on his face. Yingwan is going to be on TV. A celebrity is about to appear in their village. Yingwan looked at his back as he left, just smiled faintly, and turned around to see a familiar car coming down the hillside. During this period, Sci-Lu came from time to time, but no matter how late it was, he had to go back to the city because he was not used to living in the countryside. He came back and came again. Should we say that this young master really has time or something else? Yingwan thought about it. In this case, there is no need to delay the affairs of the Si family. She has to arrange for Baya to go and discuss cooperation with the Si family. The rest will be updated early tomorrow. I have something to do and I will update one chapter first. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 38. When Sci-Lu came up, he saw Yingwan coming out. Putting his hands in his coat pockets, he said with a relaxed and casual tone, I have decided to cooperate with your father. Next week, my people will go directly to visit your father to discuss cooperation-related matters. Now, you can go back to work. Sci-Lu thought that she would tell her this as soon as she got off the bus. After all, it was almost time. He touched the tip of his tongue to his teeth and said with a smile, you are so direct and you don't even give me a chance to stay. Yingwan, what do you want to do when you stay? The rural environment is average and it is inconvenient to do anything. It will affect your young master's mood. Sci-Lu said, you can stay here, why can't I? That's because I grew up in the countryside. This is my home. There is no problem of getting used to it. She looked at Sci-Lu with a very light look in her eyes, if you're not used to it, don't force yourself. This is not a place suitable for you. Sci-Lu sneered, you know me quite well? How do you know that I'm not used to it? Yingwan was too lazy to argue with him and turned around and entered the fence gate. Sci-Lu looked at Yingwan's back as he entered, and his smile sank a little. A genius is a genius, and his character is not easy to deal with at all. No wonder I didn't understand the style at first. He snorted again, turned around and got into the car, leaned back in the chair, and said lazily, let's go. If you are not welcome now, then it will be in a few days. He didn't believe that the old man had left this matter to him and would not let him continue to deal with the subsequent matters. Anyway, Yingwan will have to sign the contract in person when the time comes, and the people under her can't make the decision. In the remaining time, the commotion on the internet became more and more loud. Now everyone knows that Yingwan will be on a TV show. People in the village thought it was quite honorable. They didn't know what a live variety show was. However, the village chief found out later and told the people in the village not to disturb Yingwan unless he had nothing to do, otherwise it would be bad if he appeared on the show and made a joke. At the same time, Lin Mei was not at peace either. As soon as it was announced that she was going to be on the show with her sister, many friends called to inquire, either overtly or covertly. They asked directly, why don't you go on the show with your whole family? To be more subtle, just ask, is it that the Lin family doesn't want to be on camera? Even gossip reporters stopped by Lin Mei, wanting to know what was going on. Although Yingwan is also her biological sister, she has just been found now. Others cannot verify whether she is a relative or not. Lin Mei's family, the Lin family, is one of the most famous families in Shuadu. They are often featured in many social magazines. Her mother is an even more noble lady. If she appears on a live show, she will be proud of Lin Mei. Everyone is also curious about the rich life of the Lin family. Why don't they appear on the show with Lin Mei now? Yingwan is just a younger sister, and what everyone wants to see more is the rich life of the Lin family. In this regard, Lin Mei couldn't say anything. She could only say that people at home were too busy and had no time to record the show with her. Others found out about the relationship between the Lin family and wanted to know what Yu Wenzi and the others were thinking. Of course, Yu Wenzi would not say anything to slap her in the face. After all, Yingwan is her daughter. This is a fact. So she just smiled and told those people, this is the eldest daughter's choice. This means that it was Lin Mei who chose to record the show with Yingwan, not the Lin family who disagreed. What can Lin Mei say after knowing this? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 39. Sister, Mom asked you to stay calm while recording the show and don't bring everything to our Lin family. Not just anyone can enter our Lin family and be called the daughter of the Lin family. When Lin Mei heard the call from her brother, she was almost so angry that she didn't recite it. What are you talking about? Yingwan is also your biological sister and was born to her mother. Why can't she be the daughter of the Lin family? Her brother was silent for a while and then muttered, I haven't done a paternity test. If you want to do it, you can do it at any time. Just ask Mom, does she dare? Su Xiao saw Lin Mei getting so angry after answering the phone that he couldn't help but want to roll his eyes. Oh, I don't know these things, why are you telling me? That's what Mom told me, so go ahead and ask Mom. Lin Baojun hung up the phone impatiently, leaving Lin Mei staring at the hung up phone. Su Xiao sighed, if I were her, I wouldn't go back to a home like this. Her choice is quite good. Although Yingwan may not know that the Lin family has this kind of character, if he returns to the Lin family, he may be treated even worse than Lin Mei. Look at this attitude now. Just because she grew up in a rural area, Yu Wenzi looked down upon her, and now she lets her son say such things. Lin Mei, the eldest sister, was really feeling aggrieved. Lin Mei held the phone and felt cold all over. They are also her children. I don't know why she has such a big deviation in her ideas. Wouldn't you know just by looking at your brother? Su smiled and said, that's how patriarchal preference is for sons. Your mother knew it when she fought tooth and nail to have a son. On the surface, the Lin family does not seem to be patriarchal, but Su Xiao, as Lin Mei's manager, usually follows her in and out. He has listened to the phone calls at home, and has also met Lin Baojun and Lin Baoxi. It can be seen immediately. If Lin Baoxi hadn't been twins with Lin Baojun, she wouldn't have received such good treatment. The difference between the Lin family is huge. Lin Mei also knows this, but others don't. She has been at home since she was a child. Before her brother was born, her grandparents always looked at her with a look of regret. It would be great if our Mei Mei was a boy. What if it was a boy? Does your Lin family have a throne to inherit? She didn't understand it when she was a child, but she would feel sad. When she grows up, she understands the meaning, but sometimes she feels disgusted. Of course, this has nothing to do with her brother Lin Baojun, so she will never express her anger. However, she is becoming more and more confused now, especially after Yingwan's comparison. She is wondering what her meaning is in this family. She forgot about it. Yingwan had not been with them for more than 20 years. It turned out that she didn't want to recognize him when he was back. Just because of living in the countryside? If she hadn't entered the entertainment industry and made a lot of money as a star, if she had accepted the family arrangement, she would have been even more angry. She would have married someone early and created a marriage to create benefits for the family. Su Xiao didn't know what to say to Lin Mei. After all, it wasn't her fault that she was in this family. There were things she couldn't help herself with. I think Yingwan's environment is good now. Why don't you just take it as a vacation to relax and live a good life in the countryside? I don't ask you to set up any personality. Just do what you really think. And get along well with your sister. Lin Mei nodded, I understand. Who told her that she was the daughter of the Lin family and destined to endure all this? Becoming the Richest by Farming. Author, Gu Mushuang. Chapter 40. In addition to things on the internet, there are also many paparazzi trying their best to enter Huayang village and find out the news about Lin Mei's sister in advance. Some media reporters had channels and knew that Lin Mei's sister lived in Huayang village. When they drove there, they were stopped outside Huayang village. Vehicles from the media came in droves. The new road had not yet been opened. There was only one trail to enter Huayang village, and it was blocked at the intersection. 5 tall young men stood there upright and stopped every passing car. These 5 people are all exactly the same in appearance and height. Apart from their different looks, their upright bodies indicate that they have received special training, and there is no trace of any sloppiness. Wearing a black vest, camouflage pants, and military boots underneath, this kind of outfit can be worn by ordinary people, but the problem is that these 5 people are too powerful, especially the pressure when asking questions, which directly caused the reporter to be inexplicably pressure. Where did it come from? They just asked lightly, and the driver swallowed his saliva. People from other provinces, can't they enter Huayang village now? The man who asked the question seemed to be the leader among the 5 people. His eyes were raised upward and looked a bit narrow. He had a small mole on the corner of his right eye close to his nose. His face gave people a special flavor. All in all, it looks good. He looked up at the driver with some careless taste and said, "Take out your ID." The driver said, "Who are you? Why do you want us to get our documents?" The man said nonchalantly, "Now Huayang village does not allow outsiders to enter. To enter, you need a special pass. This is an order from above." Driver. Yingwan promised to film the show, and after it was made public, people would know about it. Someone will report to the superiors. There are also many people who have been monitoring the entertainment industry. They know the practices of the entertainment industry and know that someone will definitely come to harass Yingwan in advance, so they sent people to intercept directly. Anyway, as long as reporters are not allowed in, it does not prevent ordinary people from traveling normally. But the reporters didn't know that. They were confused when they saw that they were being stopped. Looking at each other. When everyone came here, they didn't know why this rule was suddenly added. Some people suspected that they were passing on fake orders, but the leading man just raised his hand casually. "If you have any questions, you can go and ask others, please do so." When reporters saw their aura, they already knew that they were not ordinary people. Their upright posture was like a javelin. Except for the man who spoke, the other 4 stood with serious expressions and did not speak. They vaguely felt that something was extraordinary. I don't know why Huayang village was suddenly closed. Without a so-called pass and no acquaintances, the reporters had no choice but to go home first and are now waiting for news in the county seat or the city where Huayang village belongs. As long as there are many people, sooner or later the news will come out. But what they didn't expect was that the official news wouldn't be announced until the day the show started airing. The people guarding outside the village went to report the news to Yingwan in the evening. When the leading man saw Yingwan, he curled his lips and said, "Miss Ying, I was ordered by my superiors to come here to protect your safety." When Yingwan saw him, she just nodded. This person is also an acquaintance, a child of a big family, who came here to practice. I don't know why he was sent to be her bodyguard. Of course, she doesn't care about this either.